Hello everyone, my name is Ron Edmer Gregorio from BSBA 3A and I'm here to tell you a story about the Grimm's Fairy Tales. The title of the story is The Straw, the Bean, and the Coal, and it is the 18th story from Grimm's Fairy Tale. So let's start. In a village dwelt a poor old woman who had gathered together a dish of beans, want to cook them. So she made a fire from her heart and might it burn the quicker. She lighted it with a handful of straw. When she was emptying the beans into the pan, one dropped without her observing it, and lay down the ground beside the straw. And soon afterwards, a burning coal from fire leaped down to the two. The straw began and said, "Dear friends, from whence do you come here?" The coal replied, "I unfortunately sprang out from the fire, and if I have not, I escaped from she-force, my death will be certain. I should been burnt into ashes." The bean said, "I had to escape from the whole skin, but if the old woman got me into the pan, I should been made into the broth with no mercy like my comrades. And I would better fate fall into my lot," said the straw. "The old woman destroyed all my brethren in fire and smoke. She seized 60 of them at once, and took their lives. I luckily slipped through her fingers. But what are we do now?" said the coal. "I think," answered the bean, "that as we fortunately escaped death, we should keep together like companions, and let so mischance should we take over us here. We should go away together and refrain from the foreign country." The proposition pleased the two others, and they set out their way together. Soon, however, they come to the little brook. As there no bridge out of the plank, they did not know how to get there over it. The straw hit a good idea and said, "I will lay myself straight across, and then you can walk over me as on the bridge." The straw therefore stretched itself from the bank to another, and the coal was in prettier disposition, tripped quietly, boldly to the newly built bridge. But when she reached the middle, and heard the water rushing beneath her, she was after all afraid and stood still, and ventured no further. The straw, however, began to burn, broke into pieces, and fell into the stream. The coal slipped after her. His when she got into the water and breathed her last. The bean, who had prudently stayed beyond the shore, could not but laugh, and even was unable to stop and laugh heartily, so she was burnt. It would been all over with her, likewise, if by good fortune a tailor was traveling in search of work, had sat down and the rest by the brook. And she had a compassionate heart. He pulled out his needle and thread, and sewed her together. The bean thanked him most prettily. But as the tailor used black thread, all beans since then have a black seam. So that is the story of The Straw, the Coal, and the Bean from Grimm's Fairy Tale.